Sorry, didn't realize you were there. We just got back from our trek, where we took a step or two in our ancestors' footsteps, experienced a minute or two of the discomfort that they experienced for months, where we took two stakes and we came together as a unified people, much like the families who joined the Willie or the Martin Handcart and became a unified team as they went across the trek. You know something? I've got something I'd like to show you. Hold on. This is a picture taken 50 years after the Willie and Martin Handcart companies made it to Salt Lake. These are the survivors. Man, every one of them has to have a story. My wife's great-great-grandmother and her parents came across in the Willie Handcart company. I gotta imagine they're in the picture someplace. Jill's great-great-grandparents said, "With all our trials, our weary traveling, with burying our dead ones, we have never once felt to murmur, to complain, or to regret every step which we took." There's someplace in this photo. Sarah Huron was 2 years old when they came across. She's got stories in her journal that you wouldn't believe. Every one of these people has a story. How about this lady here who is smiling when no one else in this time period smiles at photographs? She's got a smirk on her face. What is her story? And there's a gentleman back in the back, clean shaven. Everybody's proud of their beards and their fancy curled mustaches. He's clean shaven. What's his story? And how about the young lady over here? The black woman in the midst of all of these white faces. What is her story? Let's see the stories of our trek, of our feet in the trails of these ancestors. Can we say when we're done with our life that our faith carried us so that we didn't complain, we didn't murmur, and we don't regret any of the steps we took? Let's take a look at our trek.
You can come together and it really does feel like a family, and everyone is just so comfortable around each other and so nice and so welcoming.
It's definitely a learning experience. You teach yourself that you can do hard things.
I really like the Handcart push, and it just kind of, I feel like it brought all of us together because we're all working on one common goal.
There was this constant surrounding aroma of bug spray, sunscreen, and teenage sweat. So, that was interesting.
I think the actual trek part was super spiritual and a good reminder of what sacrifices our ancestors made.
The story of the Mormon pioneers is a story of hope, faith, and devotion. In 1847, they trekked more than 1,300 miles. Being led by Church President Brigham Young, they arrived in the Great Basin on July 24th. For 2 decades, thousands more crossed the plains, hoping to worship God in peace and without persecution. As Brigham Young stated, they never would be driven ever again. They held fast to a dream they called New Zion. They journeyed west by wagon, handcart, and on foot. More than 3,000 men, women, and children paid for that dream with their lives, wrote one woman of the suffering on the trail.
I only lived because I could not die.
On July 10th, 2023, members of the Sandy, Utah Dimple Dell stake journeyed through sacred parts of Wyoming, retracing the footsteps of the early pioneers. Although it may seem difficult for us today to fully understand the faith, suffering, and commitment to a common goal that these early pioneers embraced, still,
this was our trek. The opportunities and challenges of our time often are as momentous.
We thank our ancestors for their example.
We don't believe for the honor, but to be followers of what we know. In a time when our minds and our voices are strong and beautiful, you see there's hope for a bright tomorrow.
Wait, let's go back to the beginning, when Trek really started. Our Trek journey began nearly 1 year earlier with assignments and the start of all the planning. Add the logistical challenge of 2 stakes merging just a few months before, and well, a major undertaking. There were firesides, logistics, food, medical, ma's and pa's, aunts and uncles, and so much more to be organized. 2 days before Trek, we dropped off all of our personal belongings and got checked in.
There's a fire in our hearts and we believe, who knows, every one of us will.
The morning of Trek, 6:30 a.m., we showed up to the stake center. We had a brief meeting, and it was there that you met your Trek family for the first time.
Brian Bain, Owen Hadfield, Miles Jordan, and Emmeline Martindale.
We broke off into different rooms to get to know each other. It was there that you received a journal, pen, sticker, and a harmonica. More on that in a moment. Each band received different quotes and expressions.
Headed to Wyoming to go to the real place where these events occurred, and I think these kids are going to have a great experience. I am too.
Today we're going on a pioneer trek. For 3 days straight, we're going to be living as though we are in the 18th. No, not the 18th. 18th. No, the 19th century. There we go. 17th century? No, 19th. Why? We're in the 21st century. Yeah.
After the goodbyes, we loaded into our van, and one by one, we made our way to Wyoming.
There is a green hill far away, without a city wall, where the dear Lord was crucified, who died to save us all. Oh, dearly, dearly has he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming love, and try his works to do.
So excited to be here at this rest stop. We drove for like 3 hours straight, and now we took a rest, so it was good.
With a couple hours drive time still to go, the lines were long for the bathrooms.
You can wave because it's video.
Hi.
Uh-oh, there's a camera in the face.
No, don't look, don't look.
Okay, it's off. Just kidding.
It's amazing. We just made some new friends in the car.
Even though I forgot their names, we're working on it.
After refueling the vans, we were back on the road. Next stop, 6th Crossing.
All right, everybody, let's load up. Make sure you have all your kids.
Some people that were really enthusiastic about the harmonicas, gladly my family only played them occasionally and not while we were all in a small space together.
5 hours later, we made it to Meadow Campgrounds at 6th Crossing. We waited a while because the trailer hauling most of our personal belongings had a tire blowout. But once it arrived, it was time for unloading and setting up our tents. This is where we would sleep the next 3 cold nights. The food committee had the task of feeding 220 people several times each day, 137 youth and 83 adults.
History Department has calculated and done their research. Out of the 57,000 people that came across the plains, 51% of them were under 21. That's your guys' age.
You think that the plan is this, but guess what? I got a better plan for you. I got a better plan for you. Yeah. And I can look back now, and I can testify, and I can tell you right now, God wanted me to do that. It was in my head that it would be this way. It's not going to be like that all the time. But He's got you. You keep the faith.
But every single one of us is going to face a challenge in our life that's going to be difficult. And it's going to test you. And you're going to have a choice. You can turn to God, or you can try to do it your own way. My testimony is every time that I've learned to turn to God and work with Him, things have worked out in a positive way.
Because God is there for us, and He carries us. And having gone through a few extreme situations myself, I can testify that this is where we get the power. This is where we get the strength to keep going when things aren't going how we think it should.
Battalion A will have breakfast at 5:45, and then you will be to this gate at 6:15. Battalion B, breakfast at 6:15, be to this gate at 7:15.
And just like that, our first day was done. Several of the families did share testimonies and play games before going to bed.
Hey, we're having fun. Okay.
We're almost done. Come on, not the way.
Yeah, I'm with my family, yeah.
Even before the sunrise, the food committee was up making breakfast. This will be our first day pulling the handcarts on the trail.
There is a work to do that's been prepared for you long before the world was made.
And we know they were there. They might have been at 200 yards one way or the other, but we know exactly where they were. Today you're going to go across the river. You're going to see where the same things they looked at, you're going to look at, except you're not going to have 40-mile-an-hour winds and 5 below zero and a foot of snow on the ground.
This is a great work that we've been given. This is a part of His grand design. So don't be weary, He will be with you, and He will lead you through the night in this great work. This great.
It's cold. I feel like I'm gonna regret saying that later.
If you give Him your heart, He'll show you who you are, and all His hopes and dreams for you. And when you follow Him, the great work will begin, and perfect love will win. This is a great work that we've been given. This is a part of His grand design. So don't be weary, He will be with you, and He will lead you through the night in this great work. This great work. This is a great work.
They had probably been trekking about 95 days when they got to this point. 90, 91, 92 days. And by this time, their rations had been cut 2 times, and they were struggling.
This great work that we've been given. This is a part of His grand design. So don't be weary, He will be with you, and He will lead you through the night. In this great work, this great work, this is a great work. In this great work, this great work, this is a great work.
We have a baby that we are going to give to each family. Okay, this baby has a pioneer name. This is a story from a pioneer of a baby that was either born or a baby that went on trek. Okay, so you are going to be given a baby, the baby's name, and a little story about this baby's personal life or their family. This baby is now a part of your family. Okay, this is one of your siblings now. So you need to treat this baby as if it is a baby and as if it is part of your family. So we have 2 rules that you need to follow. Rule number 1 is 2. Please don't ever set your baby down. Okay, someone needs to be in charge of holding your baby. Babies love to be held and carried, and oftentimes the handcarts didn't have room. Our handcarts don't have room for a baby, right? But also babies are small enough they can't support themselves and prevent themselves from rolling around and protect themselves. So they need to be carried at all times, okay? And then 2, just again, they are part of your family. So please take care of them as if they are a member of your family. Give them a place to sleep at night. Give them a place where they can eat or have, again, somebody holding them when you're eating.
Thomas, who was 45, and Sarah Moulton, who was 38, and children Sarah, 19, Marianne, 15, William, 12, Joseph, 10, James Heber, 7, Charlotte, 4, and Sophia Elizabeth, 2, welcomed baby boy Charles Alma Moulton 3 days after they set sail from Liverpool, England on the ship Thornton.
Strapping her now 6-month-old Margaret across her chest with a large paisley shawl, Anne was able to pull the handcart. Perhaps 7-year-old John Jr. was big enough to give his mother some help.
One of the most quoted statements from Sister Eliza R. Snow reflects on this period. She's talking about the period of the trek. We had been preceded from Nauvoo by thousands, and I was informed that on the first night of encampment, 9 children were born into the world, and from that time we journeyed onward. Mothers gave birth to offspring under almost every variety of circumstances imaginable.
Photoshop when we get back.
Put the same diaper back on that child?
It'll be there.
I'm not that desperate.
Good job, Lily.
had to stay on the path. Like it required both parties to stay on the path. If they were not on the same path, they would have never found each other. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of miles, right? To be able to find each other at this spot took them staying on the path. And so as we were talking about this, it's interesting that they took shelter because of an issue 2 miles off of the covenant path. And had they not listened to the Spirit, there would have been a disaster. And it's similar in our lives. We need to stay on the covenant path.
Just like getting to know other people, mainly. Because there's like a lot of people that I don't know now. Like I'm friends with the whole family and people around my family. So.
And now you want me to turn off the camera?
Yeah.
We gave everyone a different medical challenge for the trail. So some have cholera, some have broken arms, some have they got bit by a rattlesnake. What are the other ones? And so each family is executing like a medical challenge to get to the next stop.
I got bit by a snake on my right ankle.
And I wrapped it.
Wait, on my sock, just to make sure, just to be safe.
I was behind the handcart and had my arm through the wheel, and one of the kids lifted it up and it started rolling. My arm got broken through the wheel of the handcart, busted the bone right here in my forearm. Hoping I can still make it.
I have cholera. I'm not allowed to assist my family with anything. I have to stay in the cart. And according to Evan, I'm not allowed to talk, so.
I got ran over by the cart and broke my forearm bone. No more pushing or pulling for me.
Is that good or bad news?
You know, it's good for me, bad for them, because I just carry the whole cart. So now we're gonna slow down a bit, maybe die out here, we'll see.
This is gonna be hard.
Hey, we can't leave Devin behind.
Should have been a section for the women's pool.
After trekking for several miles in the heat, we weren't too far away from our camp. We took advantage of cooling off in the nearby river.
We ready? Let's go, boys. All right, boys, and
tells
go.
me I'm not good enough. In my head, I can choose to believe it or not. And I know what I will choose. I will listen to the truth. With my Savior by my side, I'm not afraid. I can do all things. The mountain I can't climb. There's nothing I can't be. Oh, no matter how hard it may seem, I can do all things. There's a call that resonates inside my heart.
Trying to figure out what the best route
is. To lead it all and go and serve my fellow man and do my part. But I know what I will choose. I will listen to the truth. With my Savior by my side, I'm not afraid. I can do all things. The mountain I can't climb.
Just honestly, the first dip in the river, and it felt so good because it's so hot out
here. There's rocks in my everywhere.
Alone
They dropped our baby. I know.
All things, no mountain I can't climb.
We crossed with the Pioneer wagons. It's great. It's a bit harder than you think.
Very cold. Very cold, but it feels good on a hot day.
They dropped our baby, but we saved her.
That was Chris's fault.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
But we saved her.
After pulling the handcarts and trekking about 7 miles, some just needed to take a little nap. And others just wanted to keep playing.
It's a lot of fun. Like the environment, like how everyone like gets along and stuff.
And then it was time for the hoedown throwdown. Some friendly competition between the families.
Yellow, purple, red, and that's it. Woohoo!
Italian A, over here!
Italian A's on this side. Italian B, stay there.
Come on, suck it in,
Inhale it, inhale it. Go!
Hey, 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3!
Your answer.
Emma, sir.
Emma is correct. That is
He has 12 minutes to build a tall freestanding structure using 20 sticks of spaghetti, 1 meter of tape, 1 meter of string, and a marshmallow.
Oh wait, no!
Go!
Name a place where the pioneers settled and lived. Addie, what's your answer?
St. George.
St. George. I do not have St. George.
Go!
Pull! 2, 3, pull!
2, 3,
pull!
Logan is correct. 5 points. Okay, add them up. What do we got? 1.
No, we're rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, choose. Rock, paper.
I want to be the top girl, dude.
crazy, bro.
Happy birthday!
That's crazy. Over the pitties, bro. That's nuts.
Your team came up and I told you you were in the running, and to send your greatest pie eater, I need you to do that right now. Now's the moment.
Well, what a day it was so far. So many different activities and experiences. And thanks once again to the food committee for helping keep our strength up. But we still had one more activity. Square dancing.
Doubt is a broken record that plays inside my head. I try to turn it down, but I can't quite drown it out. I'm tortured every day, these never-ending worries pulling on my sleeve. So many times now I was supposed to tap out, all the walls would fall down around me, or anybody would tell me is all that bad news, how it's gonna fall through. But no matter what they say or what they say, it's gonna be okay. You must win, it comes for all of us, saying we are not enough. So fight for your life, the world's gonna try to sell you some lies. So many times now I was supposed to tap out, all the walls would fall down around me, or anybody would tell me is all that bad news, how it's gonna fall through. But no matter what they say or what they say, it's gonna be okay.
It's a little weird to think about that like actual pioneers were here. It's like weird to picture, but like actually like if you like get out like actually think about it, it's pretty cool and spiritual.
That hoedown tonight was so much fun.
Hoedown, throwdown.
Like genuinely. I mean, the throwdown was great because we won, and that was surprising but fun.
Me?
Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother are perfect parents to us through the trials and the challenges and the hard things. That's when we grow.
They had to make that like journey across that river,
and it was probably
where we were struggling, even walking through the mud, where they had to struggle with so much more.
So they make like a fire at the end. Because they
What have you enjoyed and appreciated about this trek?
Coming together for a certain cause, common cause, is always fun.
Where are we and what are we going to do today?
We're at Martin's Cove. We're just going to take all of these hand carts over here and we're just going to go trekking.
We're Martin's Cove, I think, and we're going trekking. I hope that we can feel the spirit and just kind of feel what the pioneers went through. I love my family.
I know that all of my grandma's side crossed over here, and I'm excited to see their history and where they went.
Feeling really good. I feel the spirit right now, and I just feel calm.
I'm excited for the whole journey just because, I mean, it's my only time I get to go to trek, so I'm gonna take advantage of that. It's a great opportunity, and I hope everyone else can soak it up too.
You can come together, and it really does feel like a family, and everyone is just so comfortable around each other and so nice and so welcoming.
I'm hoping to learn more about some ancestors, because I believe I have some ancestors that were here at Martin's Cove.
It's only a learning experience. You teach yourself that you can do hard things.
But they tried to survive on what they did, and when they got here, you can imagine 8 weeks on a boat. You're probably not feeling that great. When the Saints got to Iowa City, let's see, so they landed in Boston. 8 days later, they were in Iowa City. And when they got there, there was no, the church leaders had no idea that they were coming. And when they got there, there was no handcarts. So it took them 3 weeks to round up materials, build handcarts. Then it took another 3 weeks to get other provisions and those things ready so they could get on the road to go.
My name is Ephraim Hanks. My friends call me Eph. You guys can call me Eph. This kind of winter, this time of year, buffalo are not found in this part of the country. Here comes a herd of buffalo. And I had the inspiration to shoot another one. And I thought, I've got enough meat. And they said, shoot another one. So I took aim and dropped a beautiful cow, butchered her out, stripped the meat, loaded that pack horse with as much meat as that horse could handle. I kept coming east, looking for the handcart people. Snow everywhere. It was up to the waist of my horse, the belly of my horse. There was about an hour left of sun in the west when I looked off a ridge and saw a black snake in the snow and realized this was the handcart people. So I hurried my 2 horses down along and I met them. They saw the meat and they started with polite questions. Please, sir, may I have a strip? Please, sir, my children are hungry. May I have some meat? And I started handing it out and realized this is who it's for. And I got off my horses and they took the meat.
Just to feel that we are being part of, something so big. Yeah.
I think for me it's something that we don't see every day, like the history of the pioneers, which help us to understand all the reasons that we have what we have today.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good. How did these people even have a chance of surviving? How did they look out there into the distance, not seeing an end? For us, we do a loop. We see the end. These guys were just pressing forward.
Several hours into the day's trek, we arrived to the Sweetwater River. Many of the saints lost their lives due to exposure. We were at a sacred place. Our faith and testimonies were growing stronger.
You are youth of the noble birthright. You may not at this time know what that means. It means that behind you are great men and women who did wonderful and brave things. They made decisions that were not easy to make, and in many cases they paid a terrible price for those decisions. Some of them even giving their lives rather than forsake the truth they had embraced. The truth they had embraced.
I'm so grateful for them because I love the gospel. It's the most important thing in the world to me.
Lead me, guide me, walk beside me, help me find the way.
It's a well made to catch a dream, to lie awake, as if to tell me my dream is of you.
Classic Luke.
Like one more.
It's the
We
best.
missed.
Look closely at this clip right here. It's a little hard to see, but did you see that? Look again. Brother Bateman jumped. Why did he jump? Because he heard a rattlesnake.
Go around me. This right there.
So I did the logical thing, and I stuck one of my cameras in there. There's actually a missionary assigned to get rid of the rattlesnakes. Fortunately for that snake, it lived to see another day.
You guys, we know more about the religion. We have a testimony. These people went on so much faith in their life to be able to do this. And Emily and Julia were disowned by their family and had to leave their home and move. And for 4 years, they saved up for passage on a ship from England. And then they bought themselves a handcart and the supplies that they would be doing this trek all by themselves. It was going to be these 2 young girls pushing and pulling this handcart. I love you all. I've seen the amazing way that you treat each other. Let's continue it on. Let's go out there and let's show those guys that we can do this, okay? Because we can.
Moments before the start of the women's pull, the men went to the top of the hill.
Let's go. We got it.
Don't dictate who I'm supposed to be. The world can't recognize all that I am inside. But I know in his eyes I am a part of the bigger picture. There's so much more to me. He helps me see that I have so much to offer. I am his daughter. He loves me the way I am. He's my strength when I stand. He is my king and my father. I am his daughter.
Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah. We're gonna like power through this, okay? We're gonna do so good.
The people on the TV screen.
Through, okay? Yeah, we got this. Strengthen your legs, okay? Yeah. That's the only strength I have.
I watch them shape the world, and though I'm just a girl, I still know for sure that I am a part of the bigger picture. There's so much more to me. He helps me see that I have so much to offer. I am his daughter. He loves me the way I am. He's my strength when I stand. He is my king and my father. I am his daughter. And when I'm feeling small and wondering if I'll ever find courage to stand tall, through his love I remember there's so much more to me. He helps me see that I have so much to offer. I am his daughter. He loves me the way I am. He's my strength when I stand. He is my king and my father. I am his daughter.
Thinking about me and my sister, if we were to do that all on our own, like, I don't know if I could, but the fact that they were able to do it together, it was really cool.
to think about what's going on in your head, what's going on in your heart. Think about that for 60 seconds, and then turn to your neighbor and share those things with your neighbor.
One of the surprises for the youth was receiving a special letter from a family member or a church leader. And to the parents of all the youth, we simply cannot thank you enough. It was easy to see that many of the youth were touched after reading your letters. And so, there you have it. We drove back to our campsite at 6 Crossing. Again, thank you to the food committee for keeping us well fed. We had our final fireside that night.
We're so thankful to all of the hard work that was put into this trek to plan it. And we're thankful for the food staff for our wonderful meals. And please bless that we can feel the spirit at this devotional and with our family devotional.
Going on trek is an opportunity to serve. We carried 16 trek babies during our journey. When I learned about one particular sister who wanted to serve during a difficult time in her life, I wanted to include her story on this video.
Last year, a sister in our state, her name is Sister Coralie Van Wagner, she was sick all summer and trying to figure out what was going on. And finally, at the end of summer, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
A year ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-small cell cancer. I'm on a great pill that'll keep me alive for a while, but we don't know how long that will last for. And when I was diagnosed, I honestly wasn't feeling all that great. It had spread to my hips, and I had a hard time getting around. And then they started me on this pill, and for a good 5 or 6 months, I was pretty nauseated on the pill. It was important for me to be able to serve, and it was hard to do that when I was in that shape.
Not only did she just love it, she was so grateful for the opportunity to serve, because she said, since I've been sick, no one has been asking me to serve. And she's really missed doing that.
I have a lot of younger siblings, and I've got to take care of all of them when they were babies. And so it was just easy for me to emotionally connect to them, especially hearing their stories.
When I was diagnosed, my attitude and my thought process completely changed. Stuff wasn't important anymore. Things weren't important anymore. Money wasn't important anymore. But my relationship with my Savior was, what my relationship with my sweet husband was, and my children, and the ability to serve. I just wanted to serve other people. When she asked me if I could do it, I was excited. Yes, I can do this.
I wasn't quite sure who to ask to do this task. It was a pretty big task, and it was only a month before trek. But Sister Van Wagner's name came up.
Her face is, oops, I didn't have ears on this one, but that's kind of what she did. And I also sewed the hair on the face before I put them together too. I was worried that they were going to bury them to begin with, so I was relieved that they just told the stories and then mentioned those that didn't make it when they crossed the plains. But trek is a sweet experience. I've been on it several times.
It just felt like my own baby. But yeah, it was really hard finding out that she died because of how emotionally connected I was. I had attachment issues.
She said, "Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And if I'm around and you're around when they do this again, please ask me to do it again."
She just died 16 days after her mom died during childbirth.
Love your neighbor as yourself. And that's, when I was diagnosed, that just kind of jumped out at me. You know, nothing else is important, just our relationship with others and how we serve others.
I think being able to know more struggles that more people have been through allows me to connect with different people better.
It's been fun. For some reason, I really like the handcart pushing. It just kind of, I feel like it brought all of us together because we're all working on one common goal.
If we like kind of believe in ourselves or something and like kind of have faith in Christ, we can do anything we put our minds to, I guess.
Then family time was probably really fun because we were all like, I don't know, we were really good at like bonding, I guess.
I leave for my mission to Brazil in September, and 2 of the girls in my group are from pretty much where my mission is. So I've been able to ask them about how to speak Portuguese, and I was learning from them. And even though I wasn't expecting it, I felt a great connection between me and them, and they were super helpful to me. I had kind of been worried that the people had put the families together hadn't done it, like they didn't really know what was going on, they didn't really see how it was going to work. But the families were put together before I got my mission call. So that means that somebody had the right idea and had some revelation and knew that those 2 girls needed to be in my group to teach me and show me what it was going to be like to, even just a little bit, to be like what it's going to be like in Brazil.
Eu me senti mais perto do Pai Celestial porque eu tinha feito uma oração e eu precisava de uma resposta. Eu ainda não recebi a resposta, mas eu me senti bem melhor vindo pra cá.
I think the actual trek part was super spiritual and a good reminder that about what sacrifices our ancestors made.
And that was it. The next morning we would pack up and drive back home. Our testimonies were strengthened. For others, they gained a testimony. Before we left Martin's Cove, we took one last group picture.
They cut desire into short lengths and fed it into the hungry fires of courage. Long after, when the flames had died, molten gold gleamed in the ashes. They gathered it into bruised palms and handed it to their children and their children's children forever. With such a rich and inspiring past, we have much to be grateful for. Can we carry on the legacy of faith and hope? Can we live up to the example of our pioneer ancestors?
Indeed we can. And we will.
We're leaving Wyoming. Commitments renewed, remembering the past. Let's go home and forge the future. Let's go home.
Day one, strange vans, stranger people for a long, 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 long time. New brothers, new sisters, new family, but step by step they're mine. And we're watching everything changing in a few short days. We're gonna remember all the people that we met. We're gonna remember every single broken tent. We're gonna remember the windstorms and the walking and the talking. Some things you never can forget, 'cause we're gonna remember. We're gonna remember. Gonna remember. Day two, circus tunes, awake too soon, and all we want is sleep. On the trail, pushing, pulling, square dancing, and here's a new baby. And we're watching everything changing in a few short days. We're gonna remember all the people that we met. We're gonna remember every single broken tent. We're gonna remember the windstorms and the walking and the talking. Some things you never can forget, 'cause we're gonna remember. We're gonna remember. Gonna remember. Gonna remember. Day three, we're walking on holy ground, remembering the past, finding the strength to forge ahead.
Cool.
We'll keep trying, believing, and loving, and growing, and laughing, and dancing, and all of us knowing that in our hearts these times will never end. 'Cause we're gonna remember all the people that we met. We're gonna remember every single broken tent. We're gonna remember the windstorms and the walking and the talking. Some things you never can forget, 'cause we're gonna remember. We're gonna remember. We're gonna remember. We're gonna remember.
Catherine, we want to thank you for all of your efforts and everything you've done to make this truck what it is.
And it was just kind of sad, like loading everything up and taking down our tents and realize we wouldn't see each other for like another month. So, well, yeah, I was excited to go home at first. I kind of wish I could have stayed like 2 more days.
Others around you will start to wake up to the sounds that are in their hearts. It's so amazing what we're all creating. It's like a symphony. Just keep listening, and pretty soon you'll start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies, and each one of us